Hi, welcome to the Vodacom Durban July Gallops Gravel. A beautiful, crisp morning here. People are coming onto course, and with me I've got the legend Kevin Shea, who's ridden in this race. He's won it a couple of times. And Shazzy, great to have you here. You were here last year and you gave us a good picture of what's going on. It looks very good again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the track too looks nice down the straight here. And yeah, it's going to be fantastic to see the horses gallop, or so-called gallop, but it'll be nice to see them come and stretching, and the fans can see them in flesh.
Yeah, you know, Kev, I think the beauty for me of the gallops is that you can see where the track has been marked out. They're going to gallop towards the outside, centre to outside. It's easier to find horses that put you off backing, that you think can't win. Am I right?
Yeah, this is the nice time of the pre-race July. You say virtually a week to go. It's just about 10 days, but you can have a look at the horses and you can start eliminating what you don't fancy. But we've got a nice lineup this year, and I think there's quite a few that are in for a big contest.
Yeah, I think it's a great contest, and I think there's a great few that are in with a chance. And the first two horses are going to come out. We've got the Peters twins upstairs who are going to be doing the commentaries of the horses and give us painting the picture. In the parade ring, we've got Warren Lenferner. Warren Lenferner with 3 R's, and he's to give us even a better picture of what's going on. I know the first two that are going to come out. Kev, you know the opening gallop.
French Navy, one of the lively contenders, and Samurai Blade. He will be. They'll be coming out. I think they have actually left the parade ring, but there they go down the back there, past the old entrance to Royal Durban. We don't know actually where they're going to be starting from, but the cameraman, I'm sure, will just keep us posted, and they'll be going from then.
Yeah, I can see Craig came on our screens. He's all ready to go. Maybe he wants to have a couple of words, Craig, up from the Crow's Nest.
Thanks very much, Paul. Kevin, good morning to you. And the first two horses that left are French Navy. They'll work from the 1200. It will be with Samurai Blade. Of course, French Navy and Samurai Blade, both from the Sean Tarry yard. And a Waisha Mowing, the big race rider on French Navy. That'll take it through its paces. It is number 1 saddlecloth on the big day of the Vodacom Durban July, 4.25 million rand at stake, and this will tell us a little bit more about French Navy. They're not going to give a lot away. They'll go through an easy pace. There they are. French Navy, of course, is in the blue with the red spot, and those colours were carried to victory by Pomodora and Heavy Metal. Waisha Mowing yet to win the Vodacom Durban July, and Samurai Blade, Lyle Hewitson, he's having his first ride in the race. I mean, isn't he a sensation? He has his first ride in the race on the big day of the Vodacom Durban July. So French Navy, that is towards the left-hand side. They're going to make their way easily down to that 1,200-meter marker where they'll jump off, and this will be on the turf. There's a mixture of turf and poly gallops this morning. French Navy, of course, is the Count to Bois for Chris van Niekerk, Sean Tarry, and has won 6 races from the 19 he has contested. Interestingly enough, French Navy takes a long time to get into his stride up that tough turpentine straight, but he won the Daily News here at Gravel, where he quickened up beautifully on that occasion. He was ridden by Raymond Danielson, and French Navy obviously still needed that run of 1,600 meters last time out. It was a little bit on the sharp side for him in the Gold Challenge, so French Navy, he'll run a cracking race, I feel, on the big day. He's currently on offer at 6-1 as French Navy. He's on offer at 6-1, and his last 5 form lines, he won over 1,800 at Turfentine, then he was 4th at Turfentine in the Pinnacle Stakes, and then finished 3rd, and he was beaten only a length and a half, and that was at Turfentine, also over 2,000 meters. He was hot favourite on that occasion, and then he ran 2nd to Legal Eagle in the Champions Stakes, and that was over 2,000, and last time, as I say, came down here to KwaZulu-Natal, and he finished only a length and 3/4 off Mac Talago. So French Navy, Waisha Mowing, carries 60 kilos on the big day. They've now swapped sides. French Navy's in the blue under Waisha Mowing, one of the top riders in the world, not only in the country as Waisha Mowing, and of course he has yet to win the big one, the Vodacom Durban July. As for Samurai Blade, the mount today, of course it is ridden by apprentice Lyle Hewitson, and Samurai Blade, a top galloper, and on the day, Andrew Fortune now takes the ride. Take note of that. Andrew Fortune will now ride ride Samurai Blade. That's on the big day, the Vodacom Durban July. He's a son of Where's That Tiger. Sean Terry also trains, and this for Nestat, Bot and Cantor. And this horse is only one-time winner in the 10 outings, but Samurai Blade will start off from Stallgate 6 on the big day, on the Vodacom Durban July day, and French Navy will start off from Stallgate number 4. There is, of course, 2 reserve runners, so take note of the 2 reserve runners. They could come in a couple of draws or barriers. Of course, on Friday morning at 8 o'clock or 8:15, the 2 reserve runners come out if there is no scratchings in the big one. So we're still looking at French Navy. Washong Mawing is on the right-hand side, and Samurai Blade, that's in the yellow silks. They still have to win the July as well, those silks of Bernard Cantor and Larry Netstadt, Bot and Cantor. Those colours haven't been carried to victory yet in the Vodacom Durban July, and Samurai Blade is currently on offer at 33-1. So they're just trotting up to their starting point on the turf, and that will be over the 1,200 metres on the turf. Lyle Hewitson rides Samurai Blade, French Navy, and Waisho Mawing. You can see both of these horses on this crisp morning, very much on their toes. Also, please note, while we're waiting, Vodacom Durban July race cards now available for sale in the gift shop on the ground floor at 35 Rand each. Vodacom Durban July race cards now available for sale in the gift shop on the ground floor at 35 Rand each. All right, so while these 2 runners start getting into action, Black Arthur is also starting to leave the parade ring. He's got no companion as Black Arthur, but currently we're watching French Navy in the blue silks with the red spot, and Samurai Blade. Samurai Blade with the yellow silks, Lyle Hewitson, the apprentice, and French Navy, Washa Mawing just doing a last-minute adjustment to his stirrups, and they'll get towards the 1,200 metre marker, and then we'll give you an indication of what pace they're going to go. And just looking at the track, there is the orange dolls right up to the turn, so they'll come to the outside of the track. They'll stick to the outside of the track for the gallops today. And then on the poly, there is no dolls. There's no dolls on the poly, so if they get put through their paces, on the dolls, on the poly, there is no dolls. The other thing is that there is a flagsman at the 800 metre marker, and there's a flagsman at the 400 metre marker. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a time from 800 to finish, and we're going to give you a time 400 metres to finish. That's for the Vodacom Durban July Gallops. So just looking at French Navy, he sticks to the outside at this stage with the blue silks, and Samurai Blade, that's in the yellow silks. Both of these from the Sean Terry yard. Sean, of course, going for his 3rd Vodacom Durban July win. He's also got the reserve runner in, Trophy Wife. And on the day, number 1 French Navy is number 1 Saddlecloth. And Samurai Blade is number 7 Saddlecloth on the big day. They're now approaching the 1,200 metre marker, so we should have a little bit of action shortly. Waishong's got his stick in his left hand on French Navy. Lyle Hewitson's got his stick in the right hand currently. They're sticking right to the outside of the track there. They're starting to get their mounts into action. And let's see who goes to the front, or do they sit alongside, and we'll give you a breakdown. Here we go. The first of the morning for the 2016 Vodacom Durban July Gallops. Both horses next. Heads tucked into their necks. They both won a race. Samurai Blades in the yellow. Lyle Hewitson and French Navy is on the right-hand side under Waishong Mawing. Both riders taking holds of the mounts as they move now towards the region of just outside the 800 metre marker, where there is the flagsman with the orange flag, and he drops his flag. Right now he dropped his flag. and it is Samurai Blade from French Navy. There's only a neck between the two of them. French Navy is towards the outside of Samurai Blade. Lal Yutsen sitting as still as a statue, so is Wai Shong. As they come into that home stretch around the dolls, there's about 500 meters to travel, and they'll come to the 400 when the flagsman will drop his flag once again. They're at the 400, the flag drops, and French Navy just gets an ever so slight niggle just to get into his stride, but Samurai Blade still sits still, and now Wai Shong also sitting very comfortably. French Navy, Samurai Blade working together inside the 100-meter marker. French Navy nearest us, Samurai Blade on the inside, and both of them get eased down at the line. Very, very nice gallop by both Samurai Blade and French Navy at the business end of gallop number 1 for the 4.25 million rand Vodacom Durban July. Samurai Blade and French Navy at the end of their gallop. Just looking at this in slow-mo, and Samurai Blade is in the yellow, French Navy is nearest us, and you can see both riders just standing up in the irons and just relaxing at the business end with the neck separating them. But I'm sure Sean Terry will be over the moon with this as we look at it again from another angle as they turn into the home stretch, and you'll see French Navy just change strides, and he just gets 1 or 2 niggles just to get into his stride, does French Navy, and Samurai Blade was sitting effortless there, no movement from Lal Yutsen, and then Wai Shong also goes into comfort mode, and they just run alongside each other. So Sean Terry will be very pleased with the workout of both Samurai Blade and French Navy. We'll be back shortly with the times for gallop number 1.
Right, here we go. Wonderful to see that, Kev, the opening. They got off at 7:07. Kev, it looked like number 1 there. Lost protective boots to gallop in about 350 yards. Is that right?
For the people that never saw, he did have protective boots on, and the one on the off 4 came off, but I don't think that's a concern. I thought they both worked very, very well. I thought Samurai Blade worked extremely well, but for a one-time winner, I think it was very good work.
Yeah, very nice work. You know, Samurai Blade, the imported horse, is very talented. Okay, I believe, let's have a listen to times. I think Craig's been getting the times. Craig, what were the times like?
Thanks very much, Paul. What happened? They only gave us a 400 to finish. So take note, a 400 to finish. So Samurai Blade was 22.84. 22.84. And French Navy was 23 seconds. French Navy, 23 seconds. That's 400 to finish. Samurai Blade, 22.84. And French Navy was exactly 23 seconds. Paul, I'll go back to you, and you can come back to me again, because Black Arthur is on track.
Right, I know we've got Warren Lanferno downstairs. We'll probably come through to him as soon as he gets some interviews. Kev, it's good that they fractionalised the time, because there was about a neck between them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought a very good time, 22.84.
Yeah.
I thought that was very good, considering they were hard held.
Yeah, two very nice horses who both worked very well, very pleasing. And I know we've got our next horse on the track. We're just talking about Black Arthur here before we go up for Craig to call him. A very good horse, was ruling favourite, and drew a bit deep. Anthony Delpeche has elected to go for Bella Bella, but it's a very good horse, Kev. He won the Guineas.
Yeah, you can just look at him then too. He's a very, very handsome horse. He's very strong. You can see him. He's a magnificent animal, and I think the way he likes to race is to come from off the pace. So I think the draw is not going to really be a concern. But he's giving Anthony a little bit of a hard time there. You can see they've got the pony with him. He's sweating up a little bit, but I think that's his character. He's quite a toughie. But Anthony's got his hands full there.
Yeah, I don't know who the companion is, and
it's a lead horse.
Okay, yeah, Kevin. Well, now we're right into it. Let's see what Black Arthur can do. I don't know who the companion is out there, Kev, but I'm pleased that the first gallop was a quick time. The last 400, it showed the public the well-being of these two horses, and I think anyone who's had a wager on either of these two has got to be pleased.
100%. I don't think he's got a companion left. I think it's just a lead horse, just to keep him a little bit subdued. But you can see he's giving Anthony a bit of a hard time. He looks a little bit above himself today, but I mean, he looks good.
Yeah, you're right, Kev. I don't think it's a companion. Having a look from the back, it looks like it could be quite a hefty guy. But let's go on upstairs to our commentator, Craig. He'll call us through the gallop. This is Black Arthur.
Thanks very much. Yeah, Black Arthur has no companion. That's the lead horse that just led Black Arthur to the stars. So they're jumping off from the 1600. Anthony Del Peche is on Black Arthur for Justin Snaith, no companion. And there goes Black Arthur, immediately bounds into his stride. He really wants to get on with things there, Black Arthur. Now, Black Arthur opened up at 50-1. Before, 3 weeks ago, he was 50-1 for the Vodacom Durban July, and then he came romping home in the Guineas. He shortened into 5-1, and after the draws, he's now east to 6 and 7-1, Black Arthur. Look at him go, elastic-like stride, Black Arthur, and he's won 4 from the 6 outings. He came from well off the pace in the Guineas when he got up to beat Rabada. He's got a lovely action. Look at Anthony. Has Anthony made the right decision? We'll soon know. Bella, he's gone from Black Arthur to Bella. And of course, Black Arthur is owned by the Honourable Mr. G.R. Foster, Mr. A.N. and the Honourable G.R. Foster, and the son of Savannah. A beautiful action. As I say, elastic-like stride. He's past the 800-metre marker. He's working on his own, and he's coming towards the turn now around the Dolls with about 500 metres to travel. And here's Black Arthur coming into the home stretch now. He gets towards the 400-metre marker. The flagsman will drop his flag shortly. He does so, and Black Arthur gets a flick down the neck. His tongue is hanging out. And Black Arthur, Anthony Del Peche, keeping him together. He gave him a flick down the stretch. And Black Arthur now, he niggles him just once or twice. But Black Arthur, nothing wrong with that. 7-1 shot for the Vodacom Durban July. And here's Black Arthur, Justin Snaith. They'll be very pleased with the gallop as he comes to the end at the winning post. Just looking at him as he pulls up at the business end. His tongue is out of his mouth, is Black Arthur. Anthony Del Peche, he's got an anxious look on his face. Is he saying, have I made the right decision? Well, we'll soon know that in a week's time. And here's Black Arthur, the side view. A little bit earlier, he just gave it a flick down the neck, Black Arthur. And Black Arthur stretching very, very nicely here at Greyville. I mean, he won last time out, so he's seen the track, Black Arthur, when he won the Guineas. And he just keeps him together there, Black Arthur. So Black Arthur, very, very nice gallop. And Justin Snaith, he knows how to win the Vodacom Durban July. Well, he did eat a Dancer's Daughter in Pocket Power, and then he won it with Legislate when promoted to top position. So he actually hasn't passed the post first in the Vodacom Durban July yet as Justin, but he's got 4 chances on this occasion. And here's Black Arthur. We're going to take a look at that slow-mo. All right, let's go to Paul.
Very interesting stat there, Kevin. He was talking about one of the horses that you won on, Dancer's Daughter.
Yeah, no, that was Justin's first July, 3-year-old filly, and yeah, she was a very good filly.
Now, I like this work. This horse was keen. He's moving beautifully. Justin's got to be very pleased. His string's ticking over beautifully in the province. And this horse got into his stride very quickly, Kev.
Yeah, Lef, I think because he hasn't run since the Guineas, he looks a little bit above himself. That's why Anthony gave him a little bit of a hard work. I think Justin would have said, listen, you got to do a bit of work now because the big day's around the corner. So he jumped into the bit. He was really travelling well. I think he's going to have quite a scary time. So he came down the straight. He was really flying. But he is a lovely animal.
Yeah, he's a lovely animal, and he's enjoyed his work. And I believe Warren Lenferner has someone in the parade ring. Let's see what Warren Lenferner's got.
Paul, thank you, Paul. Yes, indeed. Justin Snaith, very short and sweet. He wants to go and talk to the jockey. Justin, Black Arthur, breathtaking, I thought.
Looked very, very good. I was a little bit worried. I was rushed out. I see they put him up the order and we weren't quite ready, and I had to bring him straight in and work him. So he never got a chance to do a bit of a walk, which is probably a good thing because he looked like he was, getting a bit revved up, getting to the mile. But I thought that was tops. So it's going to be hard to top a gallop like that. On his own, it's not easy, but I thought that was very good. It just, if he pulls up well and everything goes, according to plan, I think with Dougie White on, he's going to be a big runner come next Saturday.
Well, there's Black Arthur and Anthony coming back to the ring. You go and talk to them. Thanks, Justin. Always a pleasure talking to Justin Snaith, and that's most important feedback. Over to you, Paul and Kevin Shea.
Craig's got those times for you to jot down. Craig, could you have those times, please?
Thanks very much. Black Arthur worked from the 800 in 46.28. 800 to finish, 46.28. And the last 400 in 23.11. That's the time given, 23.11 Black Arthur. Of course, on the big day, Black Arthur is ridden by Dougie White. Dougie White's riding in Sharton on the Friday evening, and he hopefully will arrive here mid-morning to take his place for the Vodacom Durban July and will ride Black Arthur. So the last 400 have finished 23.11, and I think we're going to go to a pre-recording of Master Sabina. Let's see, either that or we're going to Abashiri. We'll inform you shortly. We're going into the pre-recording of Master Sabina. That was pre-recorded. Let's take a look at that. All right, we're just taking a look at Master Sabina. We take it that he's nearest us because that's the colours of Master Sabina. We don't know who the companion was. And Master Sabina, it was pre-recorded. That's obviously in Johannesburg. And Master Sabina nearest us, just sitting very still as the rider. Under the hands and starting to stretch out really well as Master Sabina for Jeff Woodruff. And going very nicely at this stage, and you'll see still sitting effortless is the rider on Master Sabina, and the companions alongside Master Sabina nearest us, and that is the Jeff Woodruff inmate will take its place on the big day, the Vodacom Durban July at the end of their gallop. We've just seen Master Sabina. It actually looks like Gavin Larena. I'm not 100% sure, but just looking at that, it could be Gavin Larena, and Master Sabina works to the end. Lovely action as well. Jeff will be very happy with that workout as we looked at the end of Master Sabina. Now, we've also got Abashiri coming out. I believe it's going to be Abashiri's going to be our next gallop for Mike Azzie and Carl Zechner. I'm just looking out on the track. It looks as though it is those very, very popular colours, the orange with the black cross sashes. Yes, it is Abashiri, Mike Azzie, Carl Zechner. They work from the 1600 metre on the turf. And Abashiri has got a stable companion. I don't know who the stable companion is, but I know it's ridden by Lyle Yurtsen. So perhaps they'll inform us who the stable companion is. But Abashiri is the orange with the black cross sashes, of course, winner of the Triple Crown, and he's had a layoff since then. He comes to KwaZulu-Natal, and Mike will inform us of exactly how well Abashiri is. He is number 3 on the big day. Abashiri is horse number 3 on the big day, saddlecloth number 3. And Carl Zechner will ride from a very good draw of Stallgate number 2. And the Go Deputy has won 6 from 8. Abashiri is currently on offer 10 to 1. Currently on offer 10 to 1 is Abashiri with big race rider Carl Zechner. Now, if you saw, I mean, obviously you did see when he won at Turfentine, when he won the Triple Crown, he can quicken up on a sixpence. He can quicken up in a matter of strides. So this Gravel Straight, when they turn for home wherever he's placed, just get the opening, let him go, and he'll quicken up extremely well, Abashiri. And of course, this is for Mr. A and Mrs. F.J. Van Vieren with those orange black cross sashes, orange sleeves and cap. Abashiri is on the right-hand side in those orange silks and working with a companion, and they're going to jump off from the 1600 meter marker, and they are on the turf. They're on the turf. And we'll just wait for them. Now, there's 2 horses. That's Magdalaga that's also just come out on the track. They're going to be working on the poly. Magdalaga will work on the 800 meter on the poly, and the companion at this stage will work with a companion, but we don't know exactly who the companion is just yet. Now, just going back to Abashiri, now these colours were carried to victory back in 1978 by the great politician. Different owners on that occasion. It was Javit and Tenderini. So the Van Vierens have taken over some very lucky colours here in Abashiri, those orange with the black cross sashes. So these colours have been carried to victory before in the Vodacom Durban July, and that was by politician with different owners. And here's Abashiri, the 3-year-old son of Go Deputy, Carl Zechner, Mike Azzie. There's no problem with the way the horses are turned out by Mike. They're always in tip-top condition. And let's just see how this workout goes with Abashiri. And as I say, he's won 6 from 8. His head is into his shoulders. Let's see how this gallop goes. They're both moving into action now, and they're off. So the stable companion is leading Abashiri. And just look at Abashiri where his head is. He's stalking his companion. Carl Zechner's trying to take hold of him, but he wants to stride. Abashiri, as I say, currently on offer at 10-1. They're not going quick at all, just putting them through their paces as they move to the region of the 1,000 meter. The companion under Lyle Hewitson shows the way to Abashiri. Carl Zechner. He knows how to win big ones. He goes for his first Vodacom Durban July win though. Still sitting in behind his companion. Okay, very comfortable pace. And let's see as they pass that 800, now heading to the 600 meter. The companion still leads Abashiri. Look at Abashiri's stride though. He wants to run. Just following his companion. Is he going to go in or out? Still follows him. No, he's decided to go to the inside of his companion at the 400. Both still sitting motionless. Abashiri moves alongside. Here he goes. Abashiri for Mike Azzie and the Fanferens. Carl Zechner starts off from Stallgate 2 on the big day. And he'll get eased up at the line. Very, very nice. Abashiri. Mike will be very happy with that workout at the business end of their gallop. Just looking at it from this angle. Carl Zechner sitting very comfortably on Abashiri. We'll give you those times in a short while as Abashiri comes to the end of his gallop.
Yeah, Kevin, that was a very good gallop, I thought, as well. This is a very good horse, Kev.
Yeah, this is the first time I've really seen him in the flesh. I mean, just look at that action of his. You can see why he's a Triple Crown winner. He's absolutely, that stride of his magnificent, you know. I think if this horse had 55.5 or something in his back, he'd be a serious contender. Yeah. I still don't write him off with 59, but it is a hard task. But just looking at him now, his well-being, I think Mark Azzie's done a fantastic job. You've got to just say, well done to Mark. After the Triple Crown, it's not hard. It's not hard to hard for any horse to go. Anyway, Warren and Furness in the parading. Warren, how you got for us? I hope Mark.
Kev, yes indeed, thank you. Mike Azzie with me, and let's ask Mark. Mark, we watched the gallop together. I thought scintillating.
Yeah, well, you know it, Warren. We all know what a beautiful action this horse has got. He's an amazing animal. He covers a lot of ground. Looking at him here this morning, I think he's tightened up in all the right places. I'm impressed with the gallop, and let's just keep fingers crossed. 10 days to go, all things going right. He'll make his presence felt. He's got a mammoth task with the weight that they've given him, but he pulled a good draw, fortunately for us, and Adrian and Rika, may I give them their lifelong dream.
Mike, thank you for your time. You go and talk to Carl. Thanks very much. There we go. That's Mike Azzie. We're catching them as the gallops are finished. And it's nice to hear the comments straight from the trainer's mouth, straight after the gallop. Back to you, Paul and Kevin.
All right, thanks very much. Please note we've got the times here. Abashiri from the 800 to the finish, 46,59, 46,59. And the 400 to finish, 22,46, 22,46 for Abashiri. That's the workout of Abashiri, number 3 on the big race day. We're now moving to Macdalago. Our fourth gallop of the morning. Macdalago is number 2 for Wire Marwing. And they'll be turning shortly to gallop. So let's just go down to Paul and Kevin.
Okay, before we look, thanks very much, Craig. Before we look at these two, I just want to touch on Abashiri again. I was extremely impressed, and interesting, those politician colours, great success. Kev, when Politician won the July, that was the first race you watched, isn't it?
Yeah, my very first July ever, upstairs here in our academy uniform, and Bertie Hayden and Sid Laird. Yeah, fantastic. Anyway, we'll have to go up to Craig. I think they're going to turn and they can start the gallop.
All right, they're turning now on Macdalago. And here's Macdalago, then Costa de Lago, Mile Marwing. And Wyoming is the trainer. It looks as though it's Bernard Faderb in the irons. Just on the style, I think it's Bernard Faderb in the irons working with the companion as they're turning to the home stretch. They're on the poly. 20-1 shot for the big day. A winner of Mactalago. Now, Mactalago works alongside the stable companion. He's got a lovely action as Mactalago. You must take into account they only jumped from about the 600-meter marker or the 800-meter marker. So Mactalago and the stable companion, they finish alongside, nothing to choose between the two of them, and they worked on the poly. So just take note of that. They worked on the poly. Of course, the big day, the Vodacom Durban July is on the turf, and it's Bernard Faderb who worked Mactalago. Mactalago will be ridden by Bernard on the big day, and this one is for Adams, Delport, Jinsami, Lawrence Pillay, Smith Fisser, and here is Bernard Faderb sitting very still. You'll notice how high Bernard sits in the irons. He's a tall chap, and you'll see shortly. Mactalago, just the head-on shows working very, very well. Well, let's go down to Paul and Kevin.
Thanks very much. And again, Kev, nice to see a gallop on the poly. They've elected to work the two together, and good to see his brother riding the stable companion, Kev.
No, absolutely. Washong giving Waya a little bit of a hand. It's absolutely great for the game. But I still think it was very nice work. As Craig said, they didn't go from a long distance out, but. As we spoke just now, Karma in this game, Waya won the race, and I think he lost it
in the boardroom.
In the boardroom, which is never any race to lose. Never mind the July. And the racing gods. It's funny how they work.
Kev, they worked for him last time. They gave him the race. They gave him a Group 1 last time. This horse, he won in the boardroom as well. So you're right. Karma is a big thing.
Karma is a big thing in this game, and this horse, Waya knows how to get him right. He looks super, super fit, and that's how you want them coming into the big race. And they normally race from quite handy-ish. So he's the kind of horse who could get put in a very good position and go from there.
Could be a big year for Hassan Adams. He's a major player in the industry, and he's got to be very pleased. He has a couple of runners in the race. I think Dynastic is his as well. So it was a very pleasing gallop. So far, Kev, we've had a few horses gallop. They've galloped very well.
I've been quite impressed. This year they've gone. But anyway, we've got Warren in the probing. Warren, we'll have a chat to you. Who you got for us?
Thank you very much, Kevin. Waya Mowing, we'll be short and sweet. Waya, let's talk to the professional. Mactalago, what did you make of that?
Yeah, no, I was pleased. He's stretching up nicely. Obviously, Bernard is just putting him through spaces, and I was happy with what I saw.
Here we go. Waya, you go and chat to the jockey. I think we're going up to Craig for the times. Over to you.
Right, and take note of those times of Mactalago from the 800 to finish 43,94, 43,94. And the 400 to finish 21.81, 21.81. I'll take note of those times, 21.81, but they did work on the poly compared to the others that worked on the turf. All right, so we're now going to solid speed. Our next gallop is going to be solid speed. So, Paul, if you'd like something to say just before they jump off, back to you and Kevin.
We don't know who they...
A gallop coming through here as people keep phoning through to us. But, Kev, now we see some decent horses coming through. Not that the others haven't been decent. They've all been decent, but every gallop has been impressive.
Yeah, we're looking at solid speed now from the Dean Kannemeyer. He's working with Mambo. Let's go up to Craig for the gallop.
All right, so here we go with the gallop of solid speed in those yellow silks. And, of course, those the winning colours of Power King last year. And Mambo Mime behind it. That's the winning colours of Eye of the Tiger and Dynasty. Dean Kannemeyer, he knows how to win the big one. And solid speed, they're working on the poly. It's solid speed working with, in second, Mambo Mime. And solid speed taking it along at an easy pace at this stage. For Dean Kannemeyer, Stuart Randolph rides, and Mambo Mime is Keegan DeMello. They're just going along, inching along a nice, easy pace. Both riders sitting very comfortably. Solid speed is currently 12-1 on the big day. Son of Dynasty, as I say, his father, his sire Dynasty. He won the Vodacom Durban July and is working with Mambo Mime. Mambo Mime is the Mambo in Seattle. Keegan DeMello rides. That horse is also currently on offer 16 and 20 to 1 for Field Spring Racing and Solid Speed for Kaya Stables. Both still sitting very nicely. Two different actions. You'll see Solid Speed's going to bring him into the stretch, and Mambo Mime is going to come alongside on the poly, and they're getting towards the 400-meter marker, and Solid Speed is the leader. Mambo Mime is moving up alongside. That is nearest the camera, so the yellow silks of Solid Speed just the leader. Stuart Randolph, of course, he won on Power King last year, and Mambo Mime, Keegan DeMello nearest us, he's trying to keep alongside of Solid Speed, and Dean Kannemeyer, another one. They're working on the poly. The race is on turf, but they're both stretching out very, very nicely at the business end. So Solid Speed and Mambo Mime, let's see how the times come out, because they finished alongside of each other. And Solid Speed's on the left, that's with the yellow cap, and Mambo Mime head twisted after the finish as Keegan takes hold of him, and he is the big race rider, of course, on Mambo Mime, and Stuart Randolph is the big race rider of Solid Speed as we look at this shot again. Mambo Mime nearest us, Solid Speed on the inside. Dean Kannemeyer knows how to win the big one. Stuart Randolph knows how to win the big one. So they'll be very, very pleased with the gallop at the business end. We'll be back with those times shortly for Mambo Mime and Solid Speed. Just look at it head on. Solid Speed, the yellow cap on the left. Mambo Mime is the right. And both riders sitting very comfortably, as still as statues. They didn't ask for much. And at the end of the polytrack workout, I'm sure Dean Kannemeyer and the riders aboard will both be very pleased. We'll be back with that time shortly, but I hand over to Sheldon to take you through the remainder of the gallops.
Thank you very much. And there we go, Dean Kannemeyer. Both these silks had been in the winner's box in the Vodacom Durban July. I see the protective boots are on there, and both work nicely, Kev.
Yeah, Lef, as Craig just alluded to, Dean must be super, super excited watching a gallop like this. Both those horses. The question mark with mine is if the people don't know is if he goes the 2,200 meters, it doesn't look like there's a lot of pace in the race. So he's a kind of horse that could be just by. Drew a little bit badly, 17, but he should be given a chance. Anyway, let's go to Sheldon.
Right, before we go on over, Kev, we're just talking about that gallop. I was very, very pleased with the way they both worked. And Dean, as you say, has got the recipe on winning this race. You know, with Mambo Mine, one of two Mambo in Seattle. It's good for a new stallion, Kev, from Mouton's Hook, having two horses by the stallion in the Vodacom Durban July.
Absolutely, it must be exciting for them, and let's just hope maybe this could be their day in the glory. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now we've got the next one coming out on the track, and I believe Sheldon's going to be sitting in for Craig. Morning, Sheldon. It's all yours.
Thanks very much, Paul. Good morning to you and all the viewers out there. We'll move on to the next gallop, which will be It's My Turn, and just before that, we'll give you the times. The time for Solid Speed, 400 to finish, 22.31. Solid Speed, 22.31. Mambo Mime, 22.77. 400 to finish, Mambo Mime, 22.77. There you'll notice in the Fred Krabbier silks, the red and black colours, It's My Turn from the Justin Snaith stable. Richard Ferree, no companion. He jumped away at the 1,400 metre peg. Looking at It's My Turn, he's currently trading at 12 to 1 for the Vodacom Durban July. It's My Turn. You can see he just wants to put his head up and down for a stride or two and just going a nice steady canter out there, really enjoying himself around the circuit. And It's My Turn. He's a son of Dynasty. He's out of the Jalad mare, Jalad's Queen. He ran in the Cape Derby. He won, beating Brazuca. That was over the 2,000 metre trip. Of course, his run in the Daily News was an absolute cracker. He really took off in the closing stages. He moved up and he tackled Rabada. He was only beaten a neck on that occasion. Big race rider Richard Ferree taking him through his paces as he moves down towards the 600 metre zone, and he's just lobbing along there. You can see that big, lovely action. He's just enjoying his workout this morning. He ran second to Rabada in the Daily News. That was over the 2,000 metre trip. He'll jump from stallgate number 14 at this stage, 55.5 kilograms. Inside the 300, Richard Ferree sitting stock still and just letting It's My Turn enjoy himself, and he's really coming through with flying colours. Coming to the last 250 meters, just starting to stretch out. There you'll see Richard Ferree. He's got his hands on his neck, the sticks in the left hand. It's My Turn, just here for exhibition to show his well-being, and he pricks his ears short of the post. It's My Turn. Past the 100, you can see he's a horse who's got power behind. There you can see those hind legs certainly digging into the ground, and he's pushing forward. He's got those front legs throwing out very nicely, covers the ground beautifully. And as you can see, Richard Fourie, he's sitting motionless, and It's My Turn's allowed to do it all within his stride. He pricks his ears short of the winning post, and he knows where that winning post is. There you can see the head-on shot of It's My Turn, the 3-year-old son of Dynasty for Fred Krabbier. This was bred by Mr. Engelbrecht. He will race in the black, red Maltese cross and sleeves with the red cap and black peak. Richard Fourie taking him through there the last 50 metres, coming short of the winning post. It's My Turn. That's the end of his workout. We'll hand you down to Paul.
Thanks very much, Sheldon. Now, this horse has got the form and the pedigree to win this race, Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely. Lap. As Sheldon alluded to, he's just here for an exhibition. He didn't really show too much, but he's a lovely animal, and he's short head behind Rabada last time, I think, was a very good run.
Yeah,
so,
you know, he showed in the Cape Derby what a good horse he is, Kevin.
and they went as slow as hell, and I think he's yeah.
Serious race horse this, and Fred's having a wonderful year. He's having horses win all. He's got a 2-year-old that runs in the Group 2 for him, so it's going to be a big time for Fred Krabbier, and he's looking to win this race. But let's go on up to Sheldon. Let's get those times, see what pace this horse travelled at.
Got the times for It's My Turn, the 800 to finish, 52.88, 52.88, and then the 400 to finish, 24.82.
Right, there we go. Those are the times, Kev, and nice to see these horses. The next two are getting ready to go around, and we can see it looks like Rocket Ball, I think. Looking at the silks, the Judd Pot, another very good stallion too, going with a companion. But Kevin, I've been impressed with most of the gallops, haven't you?
So far, so good. It's been interesting. They've been doing a little bit more than they normally do. You can see Rocket Ball, they're giving the jock a bit of a hard time, but...
I think the companion's not trying to play ball. You see, he's gone well inside the dolls, but the rider's doing his best to get him out. And once he quickens, I think, Kev, you know these way better than I do, that you've got to get them rolling. Huh?
Yeah, this is not doing any of the two horses any good. But anyway, let's go up to Sheldon. He can take us through the gallop.
I believe that stable companion is Silver Spring. As you can see, he's got a spring in his step this early morning. He's enjoying the conditions. He's freshing. He's shaking his head. And the fancied runner behind him is the Vodacom Durban July horse. You can see on a treble hold there. He's got a double treble hold on Rocket Ball, the son of Judpot, out of the Kabul mare Kite Runner. Of course, this will run for the Naidus, Barradales, Budlanders, Bernards, Renkins. A whole host of connections. They'll be looking forward to a tremendous run here. Warren Kennedy from a 7 draw. Of course, if you look at Rocket Ball, he ran out of his skin when second in the SA Derby behind Abashiri. He ran 4th in the Daily News 2000. Gavin van Zyl is the conditioner. He's back in second. Silver Spring still in front. He's there by 2 lengths as they move down towards the 500 zone. Rocket Ball just stalking him and looking to just settle into his rhythm as they come off that false rail, as they come to the 400. That flag will come down at the 400, and you'll notice Rocket Ball, he now gets his eyes on the prize. He moves up alongside Silver Spring, who's still being sat on towards the inside. You can see Silver Spring's got the higher action of the two. He's throwing up those legs, and on the right hand side, Rocket Ball, he's just starting to get into his action coming to the last 100. And if you like Rocket Ball, you're looking at 25-1 from the Gavin van Zyl stable. Rocket Ball and Silver Spring coming through. A very interesting gallop from the word go. They were both springing around.
Okay, there we go. Kevin, you've ridden in these. You're going to tell us a little bit about these gallops. Riding in these gallops, Kev, the horses are loving the early mornings. And what's it like? You just have to go to your instruction. Eh?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, you've got a game plan. You've spoken to your trainer, either going to do too much or too little or something. But these two got away in the beginning. Wasn't really exciting. But Rocket Ball, as Sheldon says, he was really travelling well behind this horse, and he's also looking at him now. He's got a beautiful action too. So I mean, he's a kind of horse you can't disregard him at the moment. So far, so good. All the galops now, I think it's just confusing us more than anything else.
Yeah, what's interesting is that he got a little bit warm, which is can happen to these horses. We've seen a couple of them get warm, but they're moving beautifully. I believe we've got Rabada, who, as you know, runs this week on Sunday in the R1 million race, the Breeders' Million. And he has galloped, and that has been filmed. And any moment now, we're going to go over, when we finished with these two, and have a look at Rabada's recorded gallop.
As you can see, this is the pre-recorded gallop recorded yesterday of Rabada. He'll be taken through his paces early morning. This was around about 6:15 in the morning. Rabada, this is from the Michael Azzie stable. He's a son of Braveton Soldier for the Eusters. And of course, he'll be drawn at around Storgate number 12, big race day. And that was a glimpse of Rabada at Summerveld yesterday morning. That's the footage of Rabada. And there we see Rocket Ball just coming back towards the winners area and to go back down the chute. And we'll give you those times shortly.
Right, Kevin, just touching on Rabada for a moment, a lot of people are wondering why he does run for R1 million in the Breeders' Mile this Saturday, and you don't want to affect the preparations because he's obviously in the Vodacom Durban in July, 6 days later. But Michael's got his plan from, so what we saw is just that he's basically his well-being.
That's all. He's just gone a little canter, like that. He has got a tight campaign ahead of him. He's got to get in a float and come down here on Sunday, race against some top horses for R1 million. It's on offer, and then go back home and freshen up, and a week later come back and take on even better horses. So Rabada has definitely got a heavy schedule ahead of him, so that's why he didn't see him overdo it. It's well done.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see him, and people look back and say, well, isn't it a bit tough? I think he's going to be extremely hard horse to beat, and there's 630,000 rand, I believe, at stake for him. So on Sunday, he'd have to run 1, 2, 3 on the Vodacom Durban July to get that type of stake, and he's still going to take his chance. Bear in mind, this horse won the Daily News. He was just beaten in the Guineas. He's a very good racehorse, Rabada. Question marks about him going to 2-2. What's your take?
Yeah, there is a big question mark. Mark Azzie at the luncheon, he just said this horse does stay, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Anton Marcus dropped his rein and this and that.
Yeah.
He gave us all the excuses that everybody didn't know about, and we were looking for all the excuses that maybe they went slow and he just held on in that. But he's got to be a runner. Mark Azzie gets him fit.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to go to 10 Gun Salute, and it's a beautifully named horse, this, and it's by Teofilo. This is the imported stallion. Out of a mare, Duncan Howells alluded to the fact that the mother, I think, won the South Australian Oaks or something like that. So the mother, there's plenty of stamina on the dam side, and the pedigree suggests we'll get every inch of the trip. Ran a very good race in the Daily News, Kevin, off a dead pace. I think this is a very good horse.
No, Laffy, I know Duncan, I've spoken to him about this horse. This horse is a very good horse. He came from nowhere in the Daily News off a slow pace, right on the outside, 4 wide. Yeah, and he came on and he ran right on them. I promise you, this horse, Laffy,
he's alive.
He's alive. He's no ways, he hasn't been exposed yet. So it's going to be interesting to see. You'll see him gallop now. He's actually a magnificent horse to look in the flesh, but you'll see his action too. He's got absolutely
he's
action.
very, very good. Yeah, let's get those times of Rocket Ball. Sheldon's got them. Get your pens ready. Here are the times.
Thanks very much. That 800 to finish for Rocket Ball, 50.87. Rocket Ball, 50.87. The 400 to finish, 22.94. 22.94. That was the 400 to finish as far as Rocket Ball goes. And then just giving you some feedback regarding Rabada. Of course, he is racing in the KZN Million Mile on Sunday. He'll also take place in the Vodacom Durban July. And with the horse being quite temperamental, he's a horse who travels in a private float. He also needs a companion at the race course. And also Malandu Toit, the horse whisperer, works with him. And that's the reason Rabada, he galloped at Summerveld's establishment. We got some nice footage of him, and obviously what comes best for the horse, for Rabada, is that he did that morning workout, and then we'll see him back-to-back weekends, and we'll see him take his charges as far as the KZN Million Mile goes, and then the big one, the 4.25 million rand Vodacom Durban July. And just another reminder that race cards are available for sale in the gift shop on the ground floor at 35 rand each. So if you're looking for the Vodacom Durban July race cards, they've worked right through the evening, they've done their work, and the Vodacom Durban July race cards are available in the gift shop on the ground floor at 35 rand. Also, cafe mobiles available in the marquee, positioned by the grandstand with coffees, hot chocolate, Milo, espressos and pastries. All are welcome.
Back talking about it, and Kev, the sun's starting to come out. Just have a look at that venue there with all the tents coming out. And
Absolutely beautiful.
View room is serving hot breakfasts full.
Full up there. Took a walk through there. Everybody there, get the view. There's last crowds in the stands. You can see that a lot of people walking to get in the sun to get a little bit of the cold air. But anyway, 10 gun salutes jumping away. Let's go over to Sheldon.
Next workout of the morning, you'll see his head's twisted sideways. His name is 10 Gun Salute from the Duncan House stable, and Muzieni will be taking him through his paces. And just looking at 10 Gun Salute, he's drawn mid-gate at stallgate number 10 for the big race day. Career record, he's had 9 runs for 3 wins, 4 placings. He's earned just over 319,000 Rand in stakes. Muzieni for Duncan Hells, and he's moving down towards the 900-metre area. Of course, 10 Gun Salute, an Australian import. He's a son of Henry the Navigator. He ran 4th in the Guineas and then 5th behind Rabada in the Daily News 2000. As he comes past the 800-metre zone, he's got a lovely action about him. Very, very laid-back individual. We heard from Duncan he's going to be very, very fit coming into this race, and they'll be using this as a nice pipe opener just to allow him to stretch his legs. And looking at 10 Gun Salute, he also won the Michael Roberts. So he won the Michael Roberts, 4th in the Guineas and 5th in the Daily News 2000. 2 lengths behind Black Arthur and Rabada. And there you'll see his tongues over coming to the 300-metre marker. He's very laid back, he's very relaxed, and just playing with his tongue coming inside the 200-metre marker. 10 Gun Salute, he'll give his indications over the last furlong. You'll see Muzieni just niggling him ever so slightly to keep him concentrated at the business end. He's stretching out beautifully, covers the ground, and he's just got that tongue wagging out as they come past the winning post. Last 300 metres, firstly on a loose rein, just lobbing to the inside. You'll see that rein every now and again just flicks forward, and that's when Muzieni says, come on boy, just concentrate a little bit more. And you can see his tongues are out there, he's playing with his tongue. 10 Gun Salute, but he's doing everything asked of him this morning. He knows it's a nice easy workout. He's been here to Greyville before, he's been here on numerous occasions. Of course, he won the Michael Roberts, beating Silver Spring. He beat Great Rumpers, and his last 2 efforts also at the Greyville circuit. A horse who's building with each and every run. We have not seen the best of him just yet. There you can see towards the 300-metre zone. Just got a flick down the neck. You'll notice that left flick. The tongue's over the left side there, and he's got a loose rein on the right. And then Muzieni just inside the 150. Asks him just to stretch out and just get a little bit more concentrated, because this is where it's all going to happen. The last 50 metres, this is where it counts. And don't fluff your lines here, boy. We got Dean Kannemeyer standing by in the ring.
Thank you very much, Sheldon. Yes, indeed, as we've just looked at 10 Gun Salute, let's talk to Dean Kannemeyer about solid speed and Mambo Mime. Dean, we watched those gallops together, and impressive.
Yeah, I was very pleased the way Solid Speed went. He moved nice and freely. They just breezed from the mile, just picked it up the last 400 metres of the race, and I was happy the way he was stretching, and that's important. And I think he's had a wonderful prep. I'm very, very pleased, and I think over the 2,200 metres, even be better than the 1,900. And then the Mambo Mime sat in behind. He was also moving well. Pleased the way he stretched up the straight, and the 2 fit horses' recovery rate was very, very good. I think he's also had a very good prep, and we just hope that this is going to be a good clean run race and go at a good galloping pace.
Dean, thanks for your feedback.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Mark.
There we go. That's Dean Kannemeyer. Back to the boys.
Excellent. Nice to hear Dan Kannemeyer come and talk about his horse. He's a wonderful person. He's a wonderful trainer. And Kev, he's always got a chance with his horses. He currently holds that trophy in his cabinet.
Yeah, no, I think runners are big runners, and as he's stated that they've had perfect preparations. You've got 10 days to wait, and they take them home, put them in cotton wool, and just keep them ticking over. And yeah, I was very impressed with both those workouts. And back to 10 Gun Salute after that, I thought he galloped very well as well. I'm just worried why he carries his head a little bit sideways and the tongue hanging out. Not worried about it, but just a little concerned why he's like that. But yeah, Muzieni,
I think he's a top horse, Kevin.
Yeah, no, I think he's a very good horse. Well, I know he's a very good horse. you'll see you'll give a good account to himself.
Yeah, these gallops have been excellent in the sense that the horses that people have come to see and come see their horses
Conglomerate.
have done very, very well. I've been so impressed. And there, that looks like Arthur, Kevin, going down on the Conglomerate. Is it Arthur?
I'm not really sure. Let me just see. Yeah, he looks a bit heavy. Yeah, it looks like Arthur. I think it is Arthur.
This is the
yeah.
Conglomerate who unfortunately drew deep, Kev.
He drew 17. He gets the service of the striker straight. And when I drove in this morning, I saw Derek Brugman here. So he'll be having a look at their 3 runners, how they gallop. But I don't think they're going to be showing too much. They look like they're fit horses. On the poly, let's have a look. Arthur knows what to do.
Yeah, Kev, these guys, these trainers who've got these horses in the big race, they're all professional trainers. They're all doing a good job. And you can see the horses are looking good. They've come in through their preps beautifully. Great, exciting times for all of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is the time of the year that we all get ourselves excited for this magnificent day when we're going to see 55,000 people packed into Greyville. And just if racing was like this every day, I mean, you know, you've raced around the world, Royal Ascot, Breeders' Cup and things like that. You see the massive crowds come there and the passion for the game, and this is what we want to see on the racecourse.
Absolutely. And, you know, everybody has a little wager, from Chuck and Bonesy deciding who's going to win. His track record's pretty good, 0 for 17.
Yeah, after he smokes his joint this morning, he'll
Yeah.
be chucking his
I
bones in.
think they're growing plants this year. They've got those plants. It looks like if you look down over the course, they're
Oh, yes,
and
I see that.
And they see which plant grows the tallest. Now,
Is Chuck and Bonesy coming today?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't know. You know, with his track record, I don't know if they've called for him. But I do know that they've got those little flags down right on the winner's circle here, where they're going to have a little panel discussion about the gallops after the gallops. But Kev, it's a time of great excitement. Is it the same for the jockeys as it is for the owners and trainers?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The guys, I mean, you've seen this year, Lyle Hurtson getting his ride. I mean, if you come to think about it, he's been in the academy 6 months. He's in demand. He's getting a ride in July. So it's only bigger things to happen for him once he's got this experience behind him. There's always, I can remember my first ride in
Who was
July.
your first ride?
I rode a filly for Buller Benton called Frisky.
I remember Frisky, yeah.
He had 2 in the race there, and yeah, she was a little bit of a nutter. Anyway, yeah, well, Anton's turn. Let's go up to Sheldon.
Next of our gallops, this will be on the poly track. I believe it is number 14, the Conglomerate, who will be taken through his paces there by jockey Anton Marcos, and that'll be number 14, the Conglomerate. That'll be his saddlecloth number for the big race day from the J. Ramsden stable. Unfortunately, he drew 20, so he's got the extreme outside barrier to overcome. He's a son of Lonro, an Australian import. He finished 4th in the betting world 1900, just over 2 lengths behind Solid Speed, and then in the Cup trial, another 4th behind Exit here. He's earned almost R1 million in stakes. He's a 5-time winner with 4 placings from his 16 runs to date. There you'll see the Conglomerate as they go past the 800 zone, just enjoying himself in front. His head's half down and just stretching out beautifully in the morning, enjoying the slight breeze and the sunny conditions as the sun starts to pop through, but he's really looking good in himself, the Conglomerate. He runs for the Eusters, and on big race day, Pierce Stradham will take him through, and absolute master, so he'll have to overcome that outside barrier. 400 flags down, and the Conglomerate just enjoying himself. There you can see he's starting to speed up ever so slightly, coming to the last 200 meters. This is a good look at the Conglomerate. If you're looking to back the Conglomerate, he's 33-1, so decent odds if you like him. Obviously against him is that very wide barrier, but we have seen some of the top horses come from the outside gates, and he's really stretching out well this morning. J. Ramsden will be over the moon with that workout. He did work out on the poly, and Anton Marcos almost looks like he's got a smile on his face there as they come past the post, and he must be really happy with the workout of the Conglomerate this morning. 200 meters to go. Anton Marcos just posing on the Conglomerate. You can see he's really starting to stretch out, not doing his full gallop, but he's doing just what he's required to do. He's here to show his stuff and his well-being this morning, and I've got to give him 10 out of 10. He's come, he's seen, and he's conquered as far as that goes. He was travelling beautifully around the turn, workmanlike performance on the track. He went on to the poly track this morning and doing everything right. There you can see the head up and down, throwing those legs out, and just short of the winning post. You'll see he's absolutely loving the conditions out here this morning. The Conglomerate, we touched on. He's a 5-time winner. He's 4 placings. He ran 4th in the Betting World 1900. He ran 6th in the Drill Hall Stakes. A horse who's got a big victory in him, but will he overcome the draw?
Yeah, here we go. Nice to see this, Kevin. And the Conglomerates come through with a very nice work. And, Marcus and Ingrid Joost have never won this race. They've got a couple of chances again this year. And he's got some wonderful thoroughbreds that will have the Joostes. It's going to be a race they want to win, and I think they've got a bit of a squeak.
Well, you're getting the services of Striker Stadium, which is fantastic, and we're getting the services of some nice models on the track as well. But, he drew badly. Oh, hang on a sec, there's another one about to go.
Looks like.
Dynastic. Let's go up to Sheldon. There's another one on the track, Shel.
Dynamic is now on the track. He's sent on his journey as we're just getting all these times in check here. We'll get back to you with a couple of those times for the other runners, but at this stage we'll focus on Dynamic. Dynamic is from the Justin Snaith team, and let's just have a closer inspection. We've got the race card in front of us here, and of course you can get those race cards down at the gift shop. Let's look at Dynamic. Drawn 1, Lyle Hertzen gets his big moment in the sun. Dynamic just ambling along. He's just enjoying himself past the 800 peg, and he's a horse who's just come to show his well-being. He's a horse who can get rather sweated up on race days. He really gets the vibe under him, and he seems to get the attention of the crowd, and he can be on his toes. There you'll notice as they come off that rail, Lyle Hertzen just taking him very easily, and he's going to get a good feel of this individual. Dynamic. He ran 3rd in the Betting World 1900. He ran 2nd in the Cup Trial, and in his favour he's got the 1 draw. He's got the talented Lyle Hertzen. As they come to the 300, you can see motionless. This is just a prep canter for him, stretching out beautifully. He can't fault any of these runners, as you shouldn't be able to fault. They are in the Vodacom Durban July. They're at the top of their game. They're in the final stretch, and this is just putting the icing on top, keeping them ticking along, and Dynamic is certainly ticking along. Short of the post, just being eased up, but he's here for one reason, and that's to show his well-being, and that he will be a runner from that inside draw with Lyle Hertzen. He races for Hassan Ahmeds, the Mohammeds, the Chris Snaith. So Hassan Adams, of course, bred by the Highlands Farm stud. Lyle Hertzen and Justin Snaith, they'll be holding thumbs and fingers. Watching him over the last 150 metres, Lyle Hertzen just very motionless, just to get a nice feel of Dynamic. If you look at Dynamic, his last 2 runs, he's been ridden by Grant van Niekerk. Lyle Hertzen will doing all the work building up to the big race, and this will be the first real feel he gets on the Vodacom Durban July track. Gravel, this is where it all happens. R4.25 million Vodacom Durban July. Dynamic's given him a decent feel, and they're going to start to build up that relationship. Over the last week or so, he's probably done some work on him, and going further ahead for the next week, he'll be on him every day. Dynamic and Lyle Hertzen team up with the Justin Snaith team. Distance-wise, no problems. The 2200-metre trip, as he's done exceptionally well over distances, and he's going to be a horse to be reckoned with from that draw. So that's a nice look at Dynamic. He'll be number 15 on Vodacom Durban July Day. Down to Paul.
Right, Dynamic coming through. Kevin, you touched earlier on about the young man who's going to ride at Lyle Hertzen. Tell us about what will go through when he turns onto course.
Yeah, no, Lef, it's the most amazing feeling. Even near the end of my career, when I used to come on in my July rides and walking onto the thing, and you just look up and there's just thousands of people and all your mates normally trying to get close and trying to get a word in. But yeah, it's butterflies. So nobody can say they walk on parade and they haven't got butterflies. They're ready for the big race. But once you've cantered down, then it starts. But back to Dynamic Lef. I'm a little bit not disappointed in him. Okay, he didn't do too much now, but he just hasn't come to the party against the big horses. And I think a couple of horses, yeah, even Justin's other ones have got his measure. But for Lyle to have the ride, you can just see him now giving the horse a pat. Now he's going to have to get very friendly with this horse, because he's drawn 1 as well, which is it's a hell of a pressure. You can't miss the break or anything. You've got to get out the gates.
Likely pacemaker.
Well,
be.
he could be. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. It's going to be interesting. It doesn't look like there's a lot of pace in the race. That's why horses like It's My Turn that can come into the race. Horses that they're doubtful that will stay. Rabada and these horses they'll all. So far, what I've seen now, it's been absolutely fantastic gallop. One or two of them, like Dynamic, didn't show that much, but the rest of them, they've really had a little bit of a gallop. But anyway, another two have jumped. Sheldon. Marinaresco. This is the horse we all want to see. Up to Sheldon.
Next gallop commencing is Marinaresco. This is from the Mike Bass stable. Of course, Mike Bass, he's trained numerous winners, horses like Trademark and Dunford, just to mention a few. Pocket Power, he's had a legion of top horses in his day, Mike Bass, and this will be Marinaresco taken through his strides. I believe he's working with a companion called Night Trip, and it could be Keegan DeMilla in the irons as they move down the far side of the course and move past the 1,000 metre zone. Night Trip out in front, he bounds away by 3 lengths. Marinaresco, who we get a glimpse of him for the first time in KwaZulu-Natal. He's a horse who's been kept to the Cape. They were going for the winter races. Of course, he won the Winter Guineas and the Winter Classic, beating Whiskey Baron by the same margin. 0.40 on both occasions, winning over the 16 and the 1800. Night Trip's now just let rip as they go past the 800 zone, and Night Trip opened up by 4 lengths. Marinaresco, the son of Silvano, is racing away in second. Lucky for some, unlucky for others. Number 13, big race day, Marinaresco. Grant Vernickig for Mike Bass, and this is for Connections, the Basses, the Greens, the Wrestles, and the Shirt Lifts, bred by Maritz Fontaine Stud. He has a look at Marinaresco, and within 2 or 3 strides, he tightens up to Night Trip at the 300. He comes out, pink sleeves and the blue cap, and Night Trip just being kept together on the left-hand side. This is the first time we see Marinaresco in the flesh, and there, look at him. He puts his ears back, and he says, goodbye, Night Trip. He moves up alongside, and he's got that winning formula about him, and he probably wins the same distance that he's beaten his runners in the last 2, so it just seems that he's a horse who wants to just do enough. In the Derby, he ran 3rd to It's My Turn, and previously 2nd to Black Arthur. Unfortunately, he'll jump from a very poor draw. Marinaresco, they came down to the last 2 draws. I believe it was 7 and 19, and they were stuck with draw number 19 for Marinaresco. Over the last 100 metres, Night Trip, the stable companion, had done his work on the left. Marinaresco, workmanlike action, coming to the 300. He knows when it's time to build to the bit, and within those 2 or 3 strides, he got up alongside Night Trip, and he's going to come down just under a half a length. So look at the margins. He beat Whiskey Baron in his last 2 in the Winter Guineas and the Winter Classic. He's a horse who just does enough. He's never going to streak away and win by 4 or 5 lengths, which shows he's quite clever. He's a horse he's done enough. When he gets to the business end, he knows he has to get his head in front and just keep the rest of them at bay when they hit that winning line, and that's where it's pay. Number 13, Marinaresco. Down to Paul.
Just a quick word before we go. I believe Lyle Hewitson is with Warren Linfern. Let's see what Lyle's got to say first. Exciting times.
Thank you, Paul. Yes, indeed, it certainly is exciting times for a young man who's travelling all over the country, riding winners, making his name. There's no doubt about he has a future, and he's off to Joburg, he tells me, in a few moments' time. Lyle, first of all, Dynamic, what did you make of the gallop?
I was very, very happy with that work. You know, we didn't want to do too much. This horse is pretty much at its peak, so we just wanted to give it a nice flowing canter and keep the horse relaxed, and it worked out perfectly. I thought he was stretching out beautifully, and he definitely gave me a great feel, so I'm very chuffed.
You must be thinking to yourself, I mean, you must wake up every morning pinching yourself. It's just a dream come true.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. Definitely a dream come true, especially to consider only been race riding professionally for about 4 months. So, yeah, I know it's the stuff of dreams, and I'm just so grateful for the opportunities I've received.
Lyle, thanks for your feedback.
Thank you very much.
There we go. Let's go and have a look at Bella Bella.
The grey streak of lightning. Her name is Bella Bella. Of course, she's risen to the top. She's become a name, a household name. And for Anthony Del Pesh, he was aboard Black Arthur. He's jumped ship, and he believes that Bella Bella's got that X factor about her. You can see she's really enjoying herself. She's not too keen this morning, but you can see that enthusiasm. She knows what she's here for, and she's going to give all the pundits something to really cheer about when she comes past that last 200 meters. She comes past the 800 zone. She's a flashy grey. And of course, this daughter of Dynasty, she's a 3-year-old grey filly. She's out of the Royal Academy mare, Mystic Spring, for the Vosfontein stud. The Kelmansons, bred by the Shibli stud. Very easy record. 6 runs, 4 wins, 1 place, over R1 million in victories. And Bella Bella, she ran 3rd in the Paddock Stakes behind Smart Call. She won the Fillies, Guineas and the Willavington in spectacular style. Anthony Delpeche, I believe he's looking for winner number 5 in the Vodacom Durban July. He's had a number of winners and this could be another. She is the ruling favourite now. Bella Bella priced up at 4-1. She's found the support, and if you're in for greys, here's a grey to be with. And you really got to be impressed with that workout. She's come through. She's done exactly what I asked of her this morning. She stretched out. She gets to the post. And this is going to be a week that the Snaith camp, they'll be waiting for the big race day. And what better than draw 3? And Anthony Delpeche, who's had a number of winners, he's due to get back into the winner's enclosure. Look at the Daughter of Dynasty. She's terrific. She just covers the ground so smoothly. She's got power behind her. You can see those hind legs. When she puts them down, she really kicks away, and she certainly makes her presence felt. We saw her turn it on to beat Nightingale in the Fillies Guineas, and the victory in the Willavington. Wow, what a performance. She came gliding through. She's a horse who's well drawn, but we heard from Justin Snaith, she can get herself out of trouble. And just look at that action. She builds. No problems with the 2200 meter trip. 54.5 on her back. She is a filly, a 3-year-old Daughter of Dynasty, but Anthony Delpeche has ridden her last 3 runs and he thinks she's super special, and he might have made the right decision. And for the punters, she's now the ruling favourite at 4-1, Bella Bella.
Right, here we go, Kevin. There we go. Very impressive. And Kev, you were the last guy to win on a grey, win a big race on a grey.
Yeah, fantastic. I think we're going to let's talk about Marinaresco before Bella Bella. I thought he was very impressive the first time we've seen him in the flesh. And as Sheldon alluded to, he looks like he wants to race, pin those ears back, and he could be anything. This horse, his form in the Derby. He's run behind the best.
He's a very nice horse, Kev. He's not a big horse.
Not a big horse, but he looks like he wants to race.
Big action tries, and he had run second to Black Arthur.
So that's good enough. I think Black Arthur can win. Manaresco, I think, is a big chance. But back to the ruling favourite, Bella Bella, Anthony Delpeche. I think he must have been delighted when the draw came out, because he was on a horse, Black Arthur, drawn 17, I think now, and Bella Bella came to 3. She looks well, and she looks well. We've seen her race. She's done the impossible and come up to win. So she's got to be. She deserves to be favoured, I think, with the weight. But I think giving the Colts 1 kilo, I think she needs a little bit more than that.
Yeah. Let's go upstairs. Sheldon's got a few times for us.
Thanks very much. Doing some catch up now. We got some times for you. Let's go to 10 Gun Salute. If you haven't got 10 Gun Salute's time, the 800 to finish was 48.25. 48.25, and 400 to finish for 10 Gun Salute, 22.54, 22.54, 10 Gun Salute. If you're looking for the time for Marinaresco, 800 to finish, 49.53, 49.53. Marinaresco's 400 to finish, 22.41, 22.41. The Conglomerate, 800 to finish, 46 seconds. 800 to finish, 46 seconds. And the 400 to finish for the Conglomerate was 22.08. 22.08 for the Conglomerate. And as far as Dynamic goes, Dynamic 58.66, the 800 to finish. And the 400 to finish for Dynamic in 28.83.
Right, Kev, a couple of horses out on the track. Interesting to get them. But they were having a look at Saratoga Dancer. Very nice for Duncan Howell. Brings the same type of form as Conglomerate and Dynamic. They're all much of a muchness.
Yeah, they've all been around each other like that. He's also got a bit of a bad draw. I think lucky to get in the race. No disrespect to Duncan Howells and the owners. But yeah, anyway, he's lining up with the guys. Stranger things have happened in this game. Great owners who own the horses, own the horse. Yeah, let's have a look.
Funny enough, I know Rick Nidd is so excited about it. Him and his wife are very excited. Gary Westwater, it's his third runner in this big race, and some of the partners, it's first run, and so it's great excitement for them. And he's always been a decent horse, Kevin.
Yeah, I used to ride him as a baby, and as a 2-year-old, the first couple of starts and that. And I always thought he would be a nice horse, but it's just great to see him 2 years down the line now in the big race. So something close to my heart. I can relate to it. But yeah, he is a lovely horse. You'll see him. He's a beautiful horse. He moves very well. I don't think the distance will be a problem, but yeah, I think this is his toughest task.
Yeah, absolutely, and wonderful that he's in the race. And as you say, you never know what can happen. I do know Saint-Tropez is out on the grass as well. We'll probably be waiting to get him sorted out. But this is young Muzi across the Yeni who's trotting this horse down. And he's elected to go with the stablemate.
Yeah, I think if I had the choice, I would have gone with 10 Gun Salute as well. I think he's a very, very nice horse. But I mean, no disrespect to this horse. He's got a place in the race, and he's got a lineup, and he's got to take them on. But as I said to you earlier, this is his toughest task by far. Yeah. So he has to bring his A game, and he has to have a lot of luck go for him. And from that draw, not going to be easy. But anyway. That's the jocks department.
Correct. I've always rated him and I think with Conglomerate did a bit of argy-bargy. They ended up in the boardroom
last time out.
Yeah, but as I say, Dynamic was in front of them. But I believe we've got the time for Bella Bella. Let's go upstairs.
Thanks very much, Paul. We got the important time of the ruling favourite Bella Bella. At 800 to finish for Bella Bella. 48.57. Then the 400 to finish for Bella Bella, 24.42. The 400 to finish Bella Bella, 24.42. That's as far as the favourite Bella Bella goes from the Justin Snaith camp. Trotting up is Saratoga Dancer. I believe he's working from the 800 metre mark. So we'll keep a close eye on Saratoga Dancer. The word is that he'll jump at the 800. He is quite a feisty horse, Saratoga Dancer. So they're not going to give too much away and not use up too much energy on Saratoga Dancer. He's from the Duncan House camp, ridden by Muzi Yeni. Saratoga Dancer from the 800, he's jumped and he's just going to be held together. You won't see any niggling from the rider aboard, because give him one niggle and he'll be gone and dusted. He'll pull you up past the 1600 metre mark. Right, let's look at Saratoga Dancer. He's going to come towards the centre outside of the course as they come to the 400, and Saratoga Dancer. He's the son of Mambo in Seattle. He runs for the Trotters, the Howes, the Winters, the Nids and the Westwaters, bred by the Gary Player stud, and Muzi Yeni. He's just going to take him through glide mode at the 300. Of course, he's drawn 18. Craig Zaki will ride him. He ran fourth to New Predator in the Drillall Stakes, and he ran third to Exeter in the Cup Trial. Here's Saratoga Dancer coming to the post and just starting to stretch out that last 150 metres just to get a little bit of a sweat on his brow. Saratoga Dancer inside the last 200 metres. He is a horse who can get rather keen, and in the race it'll all come down to the pace. If there's not much pace anticipated, he's a horse who can take a bit of a hold, and you might find him a bit handier. He has got a very deep draw to contend with, and if you like Saratoga Dancer, he's the roughie at 66 to 1, and you can get some 66 to 1 about his offerings of Saratoga Dancer. I believe the next gallop's already underway, so we'll shoot across from Saratoga Dancer from the Duncan House camp, and we'll move on to Saint-Tropez. And I believe there's been a switch of surfaces here. He was carded to jump on the poly, but we now see Saint-Tropez on the turf. Anton Marcus aboard Saint-Tropez. He ran second in the Betting World 1900. He's a horse who's got the ability, and it's just a matter of catching him on the right day. 3 runs back, he beat Alarm. He's run in the Summer Cup, not his effort. He was beaten almost 10 lengths by Master Sabina, not his run. But he showed more like it when ridden by King de Mello in his last effort in the Betting World 1900. He made them think about it because Solid Speed hit the front. He looked like he'd go on for a cosy victory. And Saint-Tropez, he came alive. He made a distinguished bid down the middle of the course and he made them think about it. Off the rail, they got just on 450 metres to go. Anton Marcus, big race rider. As they go past the 400, he just angles to the outside of the track. He's a son of Silvano, bred by Vilgerbos Drift. And after that, second to Solid Speed. He's got a mid-gate to contend with, draw number 11 on big race day, and Anton Marcus just keeping him interested over the last 150 metres, just asking him to keep up that momentum as they come past the winning post. There's Saint-Tropez, and just gets eased up those last 3 strides. Nothing wrong with the way he's been taken through his workout this morning. Looking at his runs to date, 12 runs, 5 wins and 5 placings. He's one of those horses who was well fancied in recent years and one or two of the big races, Saint-Tropez, and this could be his year to shine big time. He's got 55.5 on his back. Big race rider Anton Marcus taking through his paces, and he's a horse that you can never discount. Let's just look at the odds. Saint-Tropez, and we got 14 to 1, so 14, 16 to 1 available about Saint-Tropez from the J. Ramsden stable. Anton Marcus, he's elected to ride Saint-Tropez, and he's given him a beautiful workout this morning. He's taken him through his gallop and allowed him just to build up inside the 200. He's done enough work here, and just a matter of keeping him on the boil for the next 10 to 12 days. Just keep him rolling along, and then he'll be spot on for the big race day. Let's go down to Paul.
Well, Kev, we've got 2 to talk about. Let's go to Saratoga Dancer first. Saratoga Dancer, big action horse, Kev.
Yeah, he's well being, looked very good. He's a lovely horse, moved well. I think Duncan must be 100% happy with that. Got, like you say, a bit of a deep draw, and as we alluded to, he's going to have to bring his A game.
I did talk about 2 of the owners, but the other owners, they're Rodney Trotters, nice Rodney and Carla, and of course our friend Chris Winter, who played for Natal. He captained Natal Rugby and played in short socks because he left his socks at home.
Yeah, I saw him this morning when I was getting my cup of coffee, and they're excited. They've got a run, a little bit controversial, he says, but July is always like that. We always got controversy.
Kev, let's talk about Arthur Marcus. He's elected to ride our friend Saint-Tropez. Didn't show too much, but moves beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely. As Sheldon said, his last run was absolutely scintillating with Keegan de Mello. About 2 months ago, I asked Anton what is he aiming towards in the July, and he actually said to me, this horse Saint-Tropez, and I said to him, you've got to be joking, I don't think he's good enough. And he let them down once or twice in the half felt, but looking at his last run now with Anton on, I've got to give this horse a big chance.
Yeah.
I respect Anton's judgment, and a little bit of a deep draw, but Anton he's world class at that.
Anton is one of those riders, he told me himself, he looks at his chances, he looks at the draws, he looks at the field, and he says, I'm going to ride to place.
100%.
And after that, it's a bonus if we win it. And he's won it a good few times, Kev. He's just a superb tactician.
No, absolutely. Anton will. He would have put this race through his mind 100 times, if not. I wouldn't even be surprised if they were going a walk, steady canter, and Anton's out there in front doing his own thing, and that's
Could
when he's
easily happen.
And that's when he's at his deadliest. Let Anton Marcus lead at your own peril, because
He won the Met doing that. Do you remember for Vaughan Marshall?
Yeah.
Went up the middle of the course when
Yeah.
he turned for home, and they couldn't beat him. Was that Hill 54?
Hill 54, 100%. Yeah, it was a great ride, and
Yeah.
and little, as you say, he went to the middle of the course. The guys couldn't get a lead from him. So well done to him.
Yeah, Kev, just having a look at the track out there now, we can see it looks like he's been clipped, Deputy Judd. He ran a very good race in the Derby the other day, fought all the way to the line. He's run second in the Derby up in Gauteng. He's a very good horse and a good second string who's in the reserves for Michael Azzie and the Van Furens.
Absolutely, Lef. We had a chat to Michael at Marinesco the other day. In the parade ring, he was the best looking horse by far. And Mike told us his last 2 runs before he ran second, the excuses why and he put it all into perspective. And he fought it out with solid speed right the way down to the straight. So well done to Mike. I think this horse, if he gets in, he could be some serious sort of. He's a kind of horse that would actually be a nice horse to be in front leading, because he likes to gallop a little bit, and he'll make those horses carry their weight.
Yeah, Kev, another one for Judd Pot. You know, we've got Rocket Ball and a good stallion as Judd Pot, and it'll be very nice for Adrian and Rikke van Vuren. They put a lot of money into the game, and they're obviously over the moon that they can get 2 horses into this. And testament to Michael doing it right for them. So this is a horse who we know is super fit. He's just run the other day. I don't know how much work they're going to do, but do you think you'll catch the pacemaker there?
Left, I don't think they're going to do too much work with him. Just looking at the jockey, the guy who's riding him, his irons are right down. So I think that's the
show him the track.
Yeah, that's the pace I think they're going to go around. I'll be very shocked. I mean, he just ran last week, so and he's going to run maybe next week, but I don't think he's going to do too much.
This.
Just looking at.
So we seem to have 2 horses coming down the track.
No signal, yeah.
We've lost the signal at the moment, but there's 2 horses working through that. I don't know. They must
not July horses. There's no colours on them. Might be just
maybe a Group 1 on the day.
Maybe,
that's it. But we've just going to get back to Deputy Judd, who's the next one to go through. And as you know, it's going to go quietly, because there it is, Deputy Judd's back. Michael,
I think he's going to go very quietly left. Just looking at the body language of the jock and that, and they've got a lead pony in front just to make sure that just to nurse him around. Yeah, so. Yeah, I think that's about as far as we're going to see.
I think, Kevin, they're going to go quietly and just let him stretch his legs up the stretch. That's what I believe. And he looks well fit. He's just run second in the Derby. And Michael Azzie certainly knows how to prepare horses for races. When he turns them out, he has no equal in this country of turning horses. Kevin, if I ever get married again, I want him to groom me.
Yeah, he's absolutely world class. I mean, it's just so difficult when you're looking at horses in the ring, and Michael Azzie's got a horse in the ring. It's just absolutely scary. He does a great job.
Yeah, he does. He is the master of preparing a horse and producing it and turning it out in the parade ring, quarter marked. He's done glitter. He's done everything. And here he is, his horse, even though, as I say, he just ran the other day in the Derby, he looks very well. He's been clipped, and we know he's going to go quietly. I know we're probably going to have a look at the other reserve runner, Trophy Wife, which would have had a gallop up on the Haarveld. But we've seen Santra pace, so this might be our last live gallop here, Kevin.
Looks like it. Doesn't look like you need a stopwatch too. You might need a clock for this one. The speed he's going. But just as I said, the body language of the guys with their on long irons, that means
into stretch.
Yeah, they're coming into the straight. That means they're not going to do a lot of work, because as soon as you pull your irons up on a horse, they think the game's on and it's time to race. They don't want him, so. It's like taking him around the paddock.
They're showing the public the horse, Kev.
Absolutely. He deserves. Well done to Mark bringing him here. But
he has to, Kev. It's a condition of the race.
100%.
If you're in the province and the condition of the Vodacom Durban July, to get these crowds here, we can't have people saying, well, I don't feel like doing it, You've got to come and show the public who are putting the money into your punting, the horse. And Michael has probably said to them, please, I've just run him in the Derby. He's super fit. I will bring him out. The public can have a look at him. And he's just actually hacking through, keeping himself together with the long irons. And you can, as you can see, watching him come through, he does look well.
No, he looks very well. And that run last week would have just made him that 100% fitness-wise that you need to come into the July. You don't want to go into the July having any hiccups or anything.
No chinks in your armour, Kev.
You got a chink in your armour, the July will find it out for you. That I'm telling you. You got to go in there. You'll know everywhere around the world. These guys, they got their horses there. While the guy's having a wave to the crowd. He thinks he's on Abashiri.
He's waving at the crowd.
Well, we'll get a slow-mo, yeah.
Yeah, that's
having
wonderful.
A look at the camera first Bonsky.
Have you got me, Bonsky?
Yeah.
And he's going to...
And now he'll look to the right now and he'll give it... He thinks he's won the July. At that pace, he better start now.
And his mate in front's giving him a bit of a chirp. They're really enjoying themselves here, and he decides, well, I'm going to tell the crowds that I'm having fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here it comes now. Okay, well, while we're having a look at him, we've got our friend Warren Lenferner going to talk to us.
Thanks very much, Paul and Kev. I've got young Muzi Yeni with me, who galloped 10 Gun Salute and Saratoga Dancer. I'll ask Muzi about 10 Gun Salute, because that's his ride in the race. And I'll talk to Duncan Howells in a moment about Saratoga Dancer. Muzi, 10 Gun Salute, give us your thoughts.
Yes, I took him from the 14. Obviously, it's not his race, but it's a gallop, and took him through his paces. I thought I know he started off with his head tilted, but it's just a habit of his. Once he straightened up at the home stretch, he really was moving well. It felt like it's the best I felt him in a long time, and I couldn't be more happier going into the race.
Muzi, thanks for your feedback. It's most appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There we go. That's Muzieni with regards to 10-gun salute. Back to you, guys.
All right, there we go. Nice to get Muzi's take, Kev. And Kev, again, a wonderful morning. Nice to see the people come out and good to see the charges. People can sort of formulate their plans for the big one.
Yeah, Lef, I got to say, this is the first time I've seen the horses actually do a little bit more than normal. Looking at the field now, it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a competitive race now. Guys have got their. I wouldn't go to along the times as a
it's not
yardstick or
cast in
something.
stone,
No,
yeah.
the times. I think time is for people in jail.
Yeah.
But the well-being of the horses, you can see they're all well-being. We've seen Marinaresco for the first time in flesh. He looks a beautiful animal, and this is going to be a great race. I think the draws are going to play a big part of it. It's going to be fantastic. So there are nice crowds out here. They've all seen. It's going to be interesting to see what the guys say. It's always now when you walk downstairs, guys say, "What do you think? What do you like?" And everybody's going to have their fancy.
The panel.
Yeah, the panel getting put up now. We're going to go and have a chat now and to see what we'll have. Garth Puller, he's had many years of experience in there, and I think Graham Hawkins is going to be there as well. He knows what the July's all
I know
about.
we've got Pirik monosyllabic Morjan who's going to come up and give us any betting moves. You know, he one-word answers his trade.
100%. And I heard that he said that his track and ball were actually opening a few shops today. So the guys will be actually betting today after watching the Gallops.
Yeah, well, I think it's been a great success. We've got opinions from the parade ring. We've got the Peters upstairs. But they're talking about Sheldon. Let's go upstairs to Sheldon. You've got a couple of times to give us.
Give you that time of Saint-Tropez. Saint-Tropez, his time from the 800 to finish was 50.37. 50.37 Saint-Tropez, 800 to finish. 21.92, 400 to finish. 21.92, that's the 400 to finish as far as Saint-Tropez goes. And we just had a nice look at Saint-Tropez, that rerun there of that workout, and that might be the omen when he flashed by. Let's go down to Warren in the ring.
Thank you, Sheldon. We spoke to Muzieni about 10-gun salute, and we've opted to talk to Duncan Howells about the stable companion Saratoga Dancer. Duncan, you've got to have been pleased with the way you came up the track this morning.
Look, he's a fit horse, sound horse. He did everything we came here to do today, and I'm happy with the horse.
We did speak to Muzi about 10-gun salute, but you're the trainer. Tell us your thoughts there.
I think both my horses are fit. They're both sound, and they've gone through their preps correctly. So now it's up to how good we are in the race.
Duncan, thanks for your feedback, and you have a good day.
Thank you.
There we go. That's Duncan Howells with regards to 10-gun salute and Saratoga Dancer. Let's go back to Paul and Kevin Shea.
Thank you very much, Albert. And we're now in the situation, Kev, where I believe they've got a Vodacom Durban July movie they're going to show us, because we're going to go after that to just now before the panel discussion. The panel discussion, as I say, will be very interesting. You, myself, Garth Puller, and Pirik Morjan, I believe, are going to talk about these gallops. So let's have a look at this video they've made of the Vodacom Durban July.